Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a closer look at something probably sitting in your kitchen right now: garlic.
That humble bulb.
Exactly. It's everywhere in cooking, but wow, the sources you sent over articles, research notes, they show this incredible hidden history and, well, some pretty surprising science too.
Hmm.
So, our mission today, peel back those layers. We want to give you the key takeaways, the really interesting bits about garlic's past and its uh, potent present without drowning you in data. Make you the informed expert, basically.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Because once you start digging into garlic, you see it's just so much more than seasoning. Its history is ancient. We're talking millennia,
Right.
woven into cultures, not just for taste, but, for medicine, even ritual. It's got this deep significance we're going to unpack.
Okay, let's dive in then. Foundational facts first. Scientifically, it's Allium sativum. That means it's related to onions, right? Same
Mhm.
family?
Yep, the Amaryllidaceae family.
Mhm.
Onions, leeks, chives, they're all cousins.
Gotcha. And nutritionally, it's kind of surprising for something so small per 100 grams, which is, okay, a lot of garlic.
A fair amount, yeah.
But it packs like 149 calories, mostly carbs, some protein, a bit of fiber. But the vitamins and minerals, that's where it shines. Loads of vitamin C, like over 50% of your daily need.
And manganese even more, around 80%,
Mm.
plus a good hit of calcium.
It's way more than just flavor. But the real star, the thing that gives it that kick, that's allicin, isn't it?
Exactly. Allicin, that's the key active compound. You get maybe around 5 milligrams per kilo, give or take. It varies.
And this is where the science gets really interesting, moving beyond just, old wives' tales.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
The evidence now is pretty robust. Take cardiovascular health, for example. Studies, particularly with aged garlic extract, show it can significantly lower systolic blood pressure,
How significant are we talking?
up to 10 millimil Hg, millimeters of mercury, which for some people that's comparable to certain medications or big lifestyle changes.
Wow.
Yeah. And it doesn't stop there. Regular intake might lower total cholesterol by 10, maybe 50%,
Yeah.
especially LDL, the bad cholesterol.
So it's actively helping keep arteries clear, preventing plaque buildup.
That's the idea. It has anti-atherosclerotic properties. So yes, it's a pretty powerful natural ally for your heart.
Okay, that is a huge deal for heart health. Compared to other natural things, is garlic like a standout?
I'd say so. Of course, it's part of a bigger picture, diet, exercise, all that.
Right.
But yeah, the documented effects on blood pressure and cholesterol put it high on the list of effective dietary approaches. And its benefits, they extend beyond the heart. Your immune system gets a boost too.
How does that work?
Well, it seems to increase the number of T cells and boost the activity of natural killer cells. These are crucial parts of your immune defense.
So maybe fewer colds
Hmm,
or less severe ones?
potentially, yeah. It might reduce the severity and how long they last. Plus, it's packed with antioxidants. We mentioned allicin, but also selenium, flavonoids. They all help protect your cells from damage. Oxidative stress, inflammation garlic helps fight that.
It really does sound like a powerhouse. Now, the anti-cancer stuff you mentioned in the notes, that really caught my eye. Is that about prevention, or does it actually interfere with existing cancer cells?
That's a really good question. Most of the research links regular garlic consumption to a lower risk of certain cancers. Colorectal, stomach, prostate come up often.
Okay, so more preventative.
Primarily, yes. Specific compounds in garlic, like dilevyl disulfide and ajoine, seem to interfere with cancer cell growth in lab studies. Some even suggest they might trigger cancer cell death. But it's important to remember a lot of this is observational or lab-based.
So compelling, but maybe not quite as definitive as the heart benefits yet.
Exactly. It's promising, supports a healthy diet, but it's not presented as a treatment on its own. But then you have its antimicrobial and antifungal powers, which are very well documented.
Like fighting off infections.
Yes. It's shown effectiveness against Candida albicans, that's yeast infections. Also, Helicobacter pylori, the bacteria often behind stomach ulcers,
Wow.
and even some antibiotic-resistant bacteria strains, which kind of connects to history, actually.
How so?
Well, think about it. Before antibiotics, what did people use? Garlic was used to disinfect wounds, literally, in World War I and II.
No way. On the battlefield.
Yeah, it speaks volumes about its natural potency, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. From battlefields to gut health. That's quite a range. It makes you think, like you said, about old wisdom holding scientific truth. Speaking of old wisdom, I remember reading something about athletes using it.
You did. That's another fascinating historical link. Ancient Greeks, Egyptians,
Yeah.
they apparently gave garlic to laborers and athletes to boost endurance and strength.
Seriously, like an ancient energy supplement.
Sort of, and modern science might explain why. Garlic seems to have vasodilating properties,
Meaning it widens blood vessels?
right, which could improve blood flow, deliver more oxygen, and maybe reduce fatigue during exercise.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And one more quick one, blood sugar. Some studies suggest garlic might help lower fasting blood glucose levels, which could be relevant for people managing type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so a lot of potential benefits. Incredible, really. But it can't all be good news, can it? What's the flip side? What do we need to watch out for?
You're right to ask. It's powerful, but not without potential issues, especially if you overdo it. Digestive trouble is pretty common.
Like heartburn, gas.
Exactly. Heartburn, bloating, gas, especially if you eat a lot of it raw. Raw garlic is more potent in that regard.
And then there's the obvious one.
Yes. The social side effect, garlic breath, and even body odor. That's from the sulfur compounds released as allicin breaks down. They come out through your breath, your skin.
Yeah, definitely noticeable sometimes. What about allergies?
They're rare, but possible. Could be skin rashes, maybe asthma-like symptoms, or just general gut distress if someone's allergic.
Okay. And I remember reading about blood thinning. That sounds important.
It is. Very important. Garlic naturally thins the blood. So if you're having surgery soon, or if you're already taking anticoagulant drugs like warfarin,
You need to be careful.
definitely. High doses of garlic could increase bleeding risk by amplifying the effect of those medications. It can also interact with other things, some HIV drugs, potentially reducing their effectiveness, and maybe even some common painkillers like NSAIDs, ibuprofen, naproxen, that kind of thing.
So talking to your doctor is key if you're on meds or planning surgery.
Absolutely crucial. And one more really vital warning, pets.
Oh,
Garlic is toxic to dogs and cats. Highly toxic. Even small amounts can damage their red blood cells, lead to anemia. It's something pet owners absolutely need to know. Keep it away from them.
wow. Okay, that's a critical point. Good to know.
Mm.
So we've talked about raw versus cooked a bit with digestion. But does how we prepare it change the health benefits too? Like if I just chuck it in a hot pan?
It makes a huge difference. It all comes back to that star compound, allicin.
Right.
Allicin doesn't actually exist in whole garlic cloves. It only forms when the garlic cell walls are broken, when you chop it, crush it, mince it.
Ah, okay.
And, crucially, there's an enzyme reaction that needs a little time. So you crush or chop it, and then you need to let it sit, maybe 5–10 minutes.
Before cooking it.
Yes, because if you expose it to high heat straight away,
Mm.
that heat can deactivate the enzyme, stop allicin formation, or destroy the allicin that is formed. You lose a lot of the medicinal punch.
So the tip is crush first, let it rest, then cook.
That's the key if you want to maximize those potential health benefits while cooking, yes.
Got it. Okay, so we've covered the science, the precautions, but the history is just as wild, isn't it? You mentioned millennia.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, using it as medicine for over 5,000 years, that's incredible staying power for one plant.
It really is.
And I found this tidbit fascinating. 18th century France, during the plague, apparently grave diggers drank wine infused with crushed garlic.
To ward off the plague,
Do
supposedly.
you imagine the smell? Garlic wine. But they believed it worked.
Desperate times, I suppose. And pungent measures.
Right. And then fast forward to today, look at South Korea. The average person eats what, 12 or 13 cloves a day?
Something like that, yeah. They're the world's biggest consumers by far.
That is a serious commitment to garlic. I can't even fathom eating that much daily. The breath mint industry must be booming there.
You'd think so.
So, wrapping this up then, it's crystal clear garlic is way more than just food flavoring. It's this ancient remedy, really, backed by modern science for heart health, immunity, fighting microbes.
A potent natural ally.
Definitely. But, as we've said, not some magic bullet, not a cure-all.
And that's the bottom line for you, the listener. Moderation is generally wise. Enjoy it in your food. But if you're thinking about high-dose supplements,
Especially if you're on medication.
absolutely talk to your doctor or healthcare provider first. It's all about making informed choices, understanding the power, but also the potential interactions of these natural things.
Right. So it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What else is hiding in plain sight in your kitchen pantry? What other everyday things have these deep histories and hidden health secrets just waiting for us to, well, do a deep dive on?
Good question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for walking us through the world of garlic today, and thank you, our listeners, for joining us and providing the spark for this exploration.